TLO, what's poppin'? We are on Twitch. We are live, so you can come join us if you want. If not, that's cool. Just leave a like, comment, subscribe. Turn on your post notification bells. Let's continue to grow the family from Chicago to the UK. Behind me, if we go live and you happen to miss it, this is where the highlights will be. Don't forget, we do got Patreon. We post Monday through Friday. Just posted Afterlife with Ricky Gervais's. It's a good show, man. And we got merch. You get me? Let's get into this, though, man. The link to all of that is down in the description. Just hit Linktree, man. This is Taboo Room. Salute to bro. He's almost at 100K. That's hard to do. He about to get that plaque, man. I can't wait to get one. I'm not even gonna give up till I get one. I don't care with nobody. That's like that's gonna be like my diploma. That's like a birth certificate. I don't know. I want one. That's a trophy. Shit. Inside the mind of London's most notorious gangster. Prison, murder, and gangs. This is Ghost. Never heard of him. London. It's London gangs. Okay.
Started carrying guns, right?
But it's time for today's episode.
Started carrying guns, right? I remember getting into a situation in college where ended up getting rushed. So 17, 18, I went to a college. I ended up getting rushed, right? So when I got rushed, I was with a girl at the time, and that was so embarrassing. I went home, I jumped on a bus.
Oh, we already started?
I wasn't driving at the time. Just jumped on a bus, went and got my gun, jumped back on the bus, came back to the college. As I've come back to the college, I see one of the boys outside the college chase the guy. I've caught the guy in the estate. I've split his head open with the shotgun that I had at the time.
You ain't shoot him, you pistol.
I was born in Uganda, in Africa, and I came here to the UK when I was 7 years old. Grew up in Canning Town. I went to school in Canning Town, primary school, secondary school in Canning Town, and I actually didn't make secondary school, and so forth.
And what would you say your childhood was like growing up?
My childhood was a good childhood. I didn't have anything out of the ordinary growing up. It wasn't, a dysfunctional family or anything like that. It was just, it's just growing up, really. It wasn't nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay, so, all right. So what turned you to gangsterism? The study of being a gangster, what turned you to gangsterism?
And what age did you come to London?
Seven. I came to London at the age of 7. And I went to primary school in London, secondary school in London. I went to college in London, even though I had a break from college, and ended up going to prison. Came back out of prison, went back to college.
And what age did you go to prison?
I went to prison at the age of 18.
First of all, I didn't even know that they let you do that. If you go into college and you go to prison and then you can get back up and then just resume college, what type of college was you at? I didn't know they did that. Honestly, I swear I didn't.
Went to prison at the age of 18.
And what was that for?
Firearm possession.
And how did you get your hands on stuff like that?
Especially that charge.
My hands on that, I actually saved up for it because I got stabbed at the age of 17. I got stabbed at the age of 17. And yeah, after I got stabbed, I was in a coma actually at 17. So when I got stabbed, I got knifed because supposedly I was behind an attack on a older guy from the area. He had a family member.
Hold on now. I feel like we've skipped over a lot of your life. I feel like we just went from 7 to 18. There's a whole lot of in between there that we need.
And supposedly I was behind it and the attack. So when my name got back that I was behind it, there was a hit that was put on me. He put a bounty on my head at a young age.
Cool. So how did you go from, I guess, growing up in
Peas on your head, no pirates, MLB. My bad. My fault.
Africa, moving to England at the age of 7, and being in that situation at 17? How does that happen?
It's the company that you keep, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, I've always been a mischievous kid growing up. You know, I've always been one of those kids you're telling us to do something. I want to find out firsthand why I shouldn't do it. So
I feel like all kids is like that. You gotta let them see.
From school, I got kicked out of school for selling drugs, actually, so I didn't make school. I got caught selling drugs in school. Some kid passed out in school. That's where my trouble started, actually. I sold drugs to some young kid in school. He wanted a bit of weed. The weed that I sold him was a bit too strong. He ended up dropping on the floor, fitting. And then his friend ran to the school teacher, told the school teacher, that one of the teachers in the playground, why his friend's passing out, something's not right. So
wait a minute now. The teacher at the playground, what age was he? I swear, maybe I grew up different, but I didn't even know what weed was until I hit like 7th, 8th grade. Y'all talking like playground, like that's 8, 9, 10 years old.
They asked him, who did you get the drugs off? So they said, this older guy in school, which was me, and at the time actually had a rat sack, which had my weed in it. So they called the police. At the time I was in class. Yeah, so when they called the police and the police just turned up to the secondary school, one of my friends,
secondary school, what? Okay.
That I was in primary school with, heard.
Primary school. See, it's so confusing to me. I don't know what secondary school is, primary school. What is the name for high school out there? Like, what's going on?
That the police were in school because of the kid passing out. At the time I had drugs. And the crazy thing is, when the police turned up, my friend overheard something to do with me, so he's come back to the classroom and said, yo, the police is outside looking for you. We've heard your name, right, being mentioned. Knowing that I had weed in the bag, I asked the students in class, I said, which one of you wants to help me? Who wants to take this bag from me? Because I knew they were going to draw me out from the class. And one boy that I kind of used to, I won't say bully, but I used to give him a tough time. He stepped up and said, yeah, I'll do it, right?
This was his opportunity. He was like, no. It's time for me to get the bully on my side. That's a smart boy, whoever that was. He's smart and dumb at the same time.
Yeah. And looked around. And at that moment in time, I actually had a sense of guilt.
Primary school is 4 to 10. Secondary school is 11 to 16. So, hold on. So, 11 to 16 is secondary school. What's the school after that then? Because in America, we in school till 18, 19. And then we go to college. Y'all going to college at 16?
We're giving him a hard time because in that class, I thought I had friends in that class. Right now, the police has turned up to take me away and search me. No one's looking to take on the rat sack. No one's looking to try and hold on to the bag for me. Which really and truly, if you think about it, it's kind of mad being, why would you put other students in a position like that? But this kid that I had been leaning on, he said, yeah, I'll help you. You understand? So I gave him the bag. But then, when the police took me out of the class and they asked me about the incident, and I was in there was a knock on the door. Yeah, the teacher was at the door. The kid that I had given the bag to, as soon as I gave it to him, he passed it on to the teacher straight away. That was like a payback. And after I got kicked out...
Hey, he set you up something clean. He set you up so bogus. Oh man, I thought he was cool too. I thought he was like, man, he's smarter than I thought. I said he's smart and dumb at the same time. No, he's just smart. He said get back is not always immediate. It come with time. Got you.
at school, I found out that same kid that I used to lean on, he was a police cadet.
Oh, God.
You understand? So now I've been kicked out of school permanently for selling drugs. I've been full with the bag. That's my bag with the drugs in it. They linked up the incident, permanently excluded me.
At this stage, what are your parents saying? Because to my understanding, African parents in particular are very strict around.
Yeah. To be honest with you, my parents actually tried. You know, it goes to show that, look, it doesn't matter if your parents are strict or not, because if you look at it, there's kids that are well off, but you still find those kids on the road selling drugs.
And then Chicago, what we call them is goofies. If you well off and you don't need to be out here, go home. Go home. You got morals. You're a good guy. You got a dual parent household. They feed you at night. They love you. They care for you. Go home. They protect you. Like, just go home.
Your parents are well off. It's not the parents. The parents can try their hardest. I believe it's the influence. It's the friends that the kids keep that have more of an influence than the parents. Because at the end of the day, you're with your parents. You know, after school, you're with your parents. But during school, you know, it's whoever you keep around you. And outside school, when you're outside the home, but for me, to be honest, it was all my own doing.
There you go.
You know, and my parents couldn't understand why.
There you go.
And then what was next then, Ghost?
So now I'm kicked out of school. I had a little group that I used to roll with outside school. One day, one of my young friends comes to me and he says something's happened to him, right, supposedly. So there's an incident that happens, right, where someone ends up getting, you know, hurt badly, like stabbed or whatever. And then, you know, my name comes back.
Again?
So when my name comes back, the whole borough at this point is on me. You understand? Like, it's the words that spread out, this guy's name. I was actually crazy is that I used to do music as a kid growing up. So, you know, when you have MySpace, do you remember when MySpace was like a thing? You know, innocently, I'd put myself out there trying to do music, trying to be a rapper or whatever. So they went and got my picture off of MySpace.
Bro's definitely my age, talking about MySpace. He's the same age as me.
And then distributed it through the whole barrel. And they were like, yo, this guy here. So at the age of 17, I found out years later, that supposedly there was 100 grand put on me at the age of 17 that they wanted me gone. Someone wanted me gone. You know, so anyway, eventually, you know.
Bro had 100 bands on his head at age 17? You was a menace to society, level infinite. You was a menace with 100 on your head at 17.
I've been caught, shit's caught up with me. This supposed incident's caught up with me. Obviously, that wasn't the only incident, but this is the incident that's led to where my life's headed to. I ended up getting rushed. I ended up getting stabbed. I didn't see the person that stabbed me. I didn't even remember the people that rushed me, but but when I got stabbed, I was unconscious. So the meeting took place first. Bike helmets, you know, the chains that you use to lock up motorbikes and stuff like that. So as I was passed out, then it was like a samurai, you know, them little hand samurais that you have. That
I do not. No, I do not. Handheld samurai? Look, what is that?
Pierced from my stomach. And I remember, this happened outside of secondary school. I remember being chucked on a stretcher, right? My clothes were cut off. There's school kids around. And I remember waking up like weeks later, 2 weeks later or something, like week and a half, 2 weeks later, with like tubes, you know, like in my private parts. And I remember having that tube down your throat. I don't know if that's what helps you breathe. Tubes in your arms. And
man, they gave you a catheter. You was probably on a SHIT bag as well, because, you know, they probably, to go in there, it went through your stomach. They had to breach some type of bowel or something. So you was doo-dooing in bags, peeing in bags, breathing through a hole, eating through tubes. That's tough.
Yeah, like that obviously they had to give me like a zipper, you know, because the doctors wanted to find out what exactly was pierced. My internal organs were pierced. And yeah, when I got out of hospital, I was like, you know, that ain't happening again. But prior to that,
I'm not even gonna hold you. Like if somebody gave me a winter coat, I'm not even gonna lie. It's 2 ways you can go. You can give your life to God, or you can give your life to the streets. And he chose negativity. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Most of us would.
I've always had a fetish with guns, you know, at the age of 15, 16. So whoever was around me, we always had an asphyxiation with guns. We were in pursuit to get guns. So obviously we'd sell weed and save up some money and get guns. Do you understand? Because we were aware there was boys around the area that were older at the time that moved through the area and take people's shit. And, you know, we were involved in little altercations and stuff like that. You never know how deep shit gets. So once I touched 17 and I got stabbed.
And you know, it's funny how he's saying that. It's always the elders who turn the young ones up. Because they be doing dumb stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It be always the older who makes the next generation worse. Because they got that like chip on their shoulder, like, man, they did it to me, so I'm gonna do it to the young ones too. Now they turn out worse. Now them young dudes getting at you.
Then, you know, I was actually paranoid about that happening to me again. Do you understand? So me and my friends growing up, we bypassed the knives. We didn't carry knives. We went straight to guns. Do you know what I'm saying? So after I got out of hospital, it sent me a bit off. Most of the times, something traumatic happens to a person. It either knocks their confidence and it makes them go straight or legit, or it plummets them further deep into.
I told you. I always tell y'all this. I call it turning somebody savage up. It's always a moment in life where somebody's savages get turned up.
You know, the game. So anyway, now I started carrying guns, right? I remember getting into a situation in college where ended up getting rushed. So 17, 18, I went to a college. I ended up getting rushed, right? So when I got rushed, I was with a girl at the time, and that was so embarrassing. I went home, I jumped on a bus. I wasn't driving at the time. Jumped on a bus, went and got my gun, jumped back on the bus, came back to the college.
Makes sense, man. If you jump somebody and, you know, violence is not the answer, YouTube. I'm just saying, if somebody get jumped and they with their girl, they feel obligated at that point. Like, no, I can't let it go. That's normally how I go. I got to go one step further now.
As I've come back to the college, I see one of the boys outside the college chase the guy. I've caught the guy in the estate. I've split his head open with the shotgun that I had at the time. Obviously, I wasn't going to shoot him because it's right next to the college, and the estate's cameraed up. So he run into the college, pointing at me, saying, "Yeah, that guy over there. Yeah, this guy, gun," screaming. So obviously, seeing him doing that, stashed the gun that I had, went into the college, sat down like nothing's happened. As I'm sat in the college, you have that little glass door. Yeah, you got.
Hey, it's raining super bad out here right now. So if you see like it's cutting out, then my bad.
Glass, you got the brown door. The teacher's been called out of the class, right? As the teacher's called out of the class, it's armed police outside. They've seen me sat next to my bag again. Trouble, I just can't stay away from it, right? Next thing, they rush to college. Guns out. That's what they do, scare tactics. They grab me, throw me over the table. I feel sorry for the students that were in there because they were traumatized. Most of them were from like good backgrounds. They've never experienced anything like that. The closest I've been to that is on TV. I don't know. Right.
I was just about to say, like, dudes like Tyreek from Power, when they came into school and got that man for murder.
24 hours in police custody or whatever. Armed police, guns waving, MP5s or whatever. They threw me over the table. Asked me if that's my bag. I said, yeah. They grabbed me and my bag, took me into another room. And they said, we've had an accusation that you've got a gun in you. I said, no. I said, I've got a gun? So where did you hear that from? I already knew, because the guy ran to the security. They said, how did the guy's head split open then? He said, you hit him with a gun. I said, no. I said, I had a pole, a scaffolding pole that was cut off. I said, it wasn't a gun. And I said, I didn't.
I wouldn't have said that. Because now they got you for what? GBH? Grievous bodily harm? I would have these. These hurt. These hurt. That's what I was.
Hit him. He tripped over and fell because he was scared and he was running.
Oh, okay. Well,
So the police didn't pursue anything. Right.
that's smart. Okay.
And they left it. I'm thinking calm, right? Went about my business like it's normal. Police has come around again. They're persistent. So this is all part of the building of who I ended up becoming growing up. I'm in my mum's house 2 months later. Obviously, throughout time, I'm jamming people with guns. I'm going kind of deeper into the game. You know, any excuse to pull it on you, I'll just, you know what I'm saying?
They was watching you.
I knew the soft spots, where to stick the nozzle. You know, if I do catch you, I'll stick the nozzle in your ribs or, you know, under your chin, you know, all of that. So anyway, I'm sleeping in my mum's. I hear a helicopter above the bedroom. See a light. All the houses are together. They're not detached. My house is in the middle, yeah? So the police had to get helicopters to cover the back, right? They can jump 7 fences just to get to my back garden. So when I heard the helicopter above my room, jumped out of bed, I'm thinking, yo, what's happening? Half asleep, so you can imagine it's like a movie. Run downstairs. As I get to the bottom of the stairs, the door flies off. Oh, let's go. They're shouting different instructions. Get on your knees, get on the floor, hands behind your back. So I'm thinking, what is it? I'm in my boxers. And at the time, thank God I'd sent my mom abroad. Right, I'd sent my mom abroad because I'd been getting money through robberies and shit like that I was doing just to be nice out of all the shit that I've put her through. Never mind
W son, I guess.
the fact that she's tried to confiscate 2 guns from me already at the age of 16 that she found. I had a 4.4 Bulldog Magnum that I had at the time. She tried
That's y'all favorite weapon. 38 and a 4.4. And spinners, that's the UK's #1 thing, huh? I guess because that's what's available back then.
confiscate. So I had to kind of, this is damn.
No lie, Brindy, most young gangsters are living at their mama crib, though. I mean, you got to remember, he's 16. He was still in school thugging.
Back at 16, I had to kind of lock horns, and she said to me, you know, the first thing that she found was a shotgun. She threw that in the bin. You know, I was pissed about that, so I had to reinvest in a Magnum at the time, right? And you can tell in England the guns are expensive. Getting them into the country, you know, and then selling 4.4s, even going back 10, 15 years ago, we're talking £2,500-3,000 at 16. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Excuse me?
Sorry to interrupt you guys. Who's selling a gun to a 16-year-old man?
Oh yeah, no. Whoops. At the end of the day, in the area, if you're known as, you know, those type of guys, you always have people in the area that they know a cousin who's got something for sale. Do you understand that all the cousins got something for sale? So you always save up. You know, me and my pack have always been associated with having.
Appreciate the sub.
From my mom.
What's that? That's 6 months. Oh man, you went crazy. Salute.
You know. So my mom called me down. I called her. I said, you found something in my room. You know, my sister told me, actually. I remember I used to keep it in a sock. It was like a small little 6-inch barrel revolver. So I said to her, you found something in my room. She said, yeah. You know, yeah.
Hello.
You know.
Oh man.
Is it me you're looking for?
ACBR 2001. Appreciate the sub, man. Got a hype train. What y'all on? What y'all doing? Appreciate you, Josh. 7692 for the. You on a 13-month streak. You not playing around.
I said, yeah, I'm gonna need that bag. She says, well, you're going to have to choose. I said, it's not mine. Had I said it's mine, she was saying, I'll throw it away, it's nothing. Yeah. As a young boy, you always deflect the blame and point at someone else or say it's the older boys or someone else's for your mom not to do something stupid because there's repercussions for the actions that she's about to do. So she said,
That's true. That's true. As a young boy, you do deflect and blame others, but like you got to be careful though. So you got to be careful when becoming a man because you'll do that as a man as well, and you won't be able to hold no relationships. You won't be able to hold nothing down that's solid. And me, as in the older age that I am, I'm just now achieving that, and it's sad. But
choose the gun or choose the house. I chose the gun. I left the house, right? So you go through the whole hosting procedure. So when the police did actually come to my mom's house at the age of 17, second time round, I had sent her abroad. Thank God she wasn't there, but my older sister was there. Back to the story, the helicopters above the room. I've run downstairs. The doors flew open. I see shields. I see laser beams. I see about 7 beams on my chest. I'm in my boxes. I don't know where I was running, but it's just impulse. So I get on my knees. So they drag me out of the house. The whole road's blocked off. I'm sat in the back of the car, and I'm thinking, sister, man, like, I'm more worried about what my sister's gonna do or say than what the police are gonna do. So anyway,
I'm not gonna lie, his life up to this point could be one of the most classic hood movies that ever dropped. Like if somebody just came along and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm an indie filmmaker. I want to make a movie on your life," blah blah blah, and had the money, and he just told the story. What? I'd watch. No cap.
they searched the house. They find nothing. They didn't even find the gun. Where I had the gun hidden. I had the gun hidden with the coke that I was pushing at the time and the weed that I was pushing at the time. Somewhat between my house and the next door neighbor's house. You know, like the fence. So after they searched the house and they didn't find anything, I thought I was going to prison.
Oh,
I went
smart.
back there. They didn't find the weed or the coke. So I was absolutely gassed, right? I get to keep my gun. Another 2 months gone by. I've carried on doing what I'm doing, you know, robberies, stick-ups or whatever. I'm in my old place. Remember, I don't live at my mum's no more. At the time I was living there, she had gone abroad. So I stayed there for a little while because the line that
Oh, okay. Okay.
I had, drug line that I had was centered around my mum's area. And I didn't want to be traveling all the way from my area and back. And remember, I never used to drive. So Ubering would have been obviously.
Okay, so he had his own crib. He was just staying at his mountain because that's where the trap was booming at.
Uber didn't exist at the time. It was cabs. Would have been the next best route because I'm not going to get on a bus with coke. And I used to wear a trench coat, right, with coke in his bag, a shotgun, and weed in his bag. Do you understand?
He was moving around like he was a character on The Wire, wasn't he?
So sometimes it would make sense, like on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, to stick around my mum's locality because that's where my business line was. I'm in my new place, right, in my new flat. I had scaffolding around it.
Let's
The door's
go.
gone again. I had my shotgun on the window.
Oh man, we have achieved our first hype train, I think. Appreciate Josh for gifting that sub, man. Burgie got it. Salute.
Windowsill. Remember, I'd been stabbed, so I've been paranoid. There's a hit on me. I'd rather be caught with it by the police than without it by whoever's after me.
100%. 100%. Not even gonna hold you. I agree. When you living like that, that's gotta be the mindset.
And it never actually mind that the person that's put the hit on me. We'll talk about him later. Like, I'm not going to disclose too much, but I'll just touch a bit on that later. And doors flew open, right? I've heard the door going, but at the time I'd enforced a plastic door. Because with a plastic door and a ram it with the rum key, it throws back a lot of friction. It doesn't fly in straight away like a wooden door will pave in, and it'll force that door off the hinge. A plastic door falls back, the force. So I heard the door going, shoot. Jumped out, thinking, sure. They go on me. Open the balcony door. Without looking, I threw a shotgun out. it hit the armed fed that was on the scaffolding with a Glock torch pointing at me. He's disappeared off the scaffolding. I remember there was about 6 armed police. They go cover the exits, so some covering the front, some covering the back. The torches out the, torches and the Glocks are at the scaffolding, wooden panels around the floor, the full floor that I was living at, pointing at the exit. So as I've opened the door, because I'm thinking, coming from the front, I'm opening my bedroom door, which leads out to the balcony, and just roll through it. So as I threw it, I see the guy at the rear end, the far corner, disappear off the scaffolding. The torch went, right? He's fell off. So as this fell off, the shotguns bust open, the shells are dropped out. First time I went to prison, 18, possession of a firearm, but it hit armed fed. I had to go guilty. I got 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, minor. 3 years, pleading guilty,
Not even mad. That's not even mad. That's not even bad.
And that actually sent me even worse, because now prison can be one or two things. It can be a course of you changing your life, or you get a chance to rub shoulders and swap ideas with other criminals. So when I got out, I was like, whoa, I've been stabbed. There's a hit on me. I've been involved in guns. At the time, I hadn't shot anyone yet. And I was like, yo, prison got that bad. Do you understand? So
This dude was a menace. What do you mean prison wasn't that bad? He was in there getting big, swole, eating ramen. Like, what's wrong with you? Man hit the police officer off the scaffolding of the 4th floor with a boomerang shotgun move. Like, yo.
when I got out of prison, that's when that gunfiring started,
So you've come out at 21.
No, I come out at 20. I went back in at 21.
What did you go back inside for so quick?
So when I got out, I went in 18, come out 20, right? And I'm broke. I think to myself, I gotta make money, man, right? I don't even want to sell weed.
The UK's youngest reoffenders. Seen this episode already. You definitely reoffended. I hear it in your voice right now.
Drugs no more. I'm on instant cash. So I had a friend of mine that I grew up with. I've been primary school with him, secondary school with him. And he was obviously, luckily at the time, he was on the same shit I was on, you understand? So we just came together, right? Like a puzzle, just clicked. And then, we put ideas together, so we started doing stick-ups. We had drops, drug dealers that would set each other up. So we had our Albanians that were selling coke. Take out the rival competition, just send a text. That's how we used to function. Send a text, we get your address, right? That's your doors coming off. And at the time, when we put our heads together, I'd been in prison, I'd been watching SWAT. So there was a program called SWAT in America, where they'll rush your door and they've got a sledgehammer that they use as a key, and that your door flies off the handle.
Bro was really out here researching, and bro went to jail, and instead of turning his life around, he studied to be more diabolical. Look at this guy.
So that was the MO, right? We'll fly through doors. We had Vietnamese people that would do grows, like they have grow houses and factories and stuff like that. So they're capos. I've always been into networking. So was my other friend. We're into networking. We'll split everything 50-50. If you're not happy with the split that you're getting from your friend, he's offering you 30% and he's taking 70%, and you prefer 50%, send me a text. Do you understand what I'm saying? But information has to be solid. So we had Vietnamese for grow, for weed. We had Albanians for coke and money. And we had, money drops. So kind of like a dealer, but I wasn't dealer. We always had lines that will fly through Texas and solid sources of information. More time, it has to be an insider that has to be sat in that house when we come through. Second time I went to prison when I was 20, I'm going to a move now.
My bad. I said everything that's going on in the chat over here. This is my first time seeing it. Appreciate y'all for making it happen.
obviously I can talk about this now because I've done the stretch, and whatever I'm talking about, it's already documented. It's only the public that I know about what I'm saying, and the police already know about what I'm saying. So it's not about the stories being far-fetched. It's the fact that the public don't know about it. So I'm only saying what the police already have documented. We've gone to a robbery. I've got a text. I'm chilling in a hood. I've got a text. Yo, 70K. Yeah, my uncle's got 70 grand. I'm with him right now. Yeah? Drop me the address. We don't play around. We used to do yards. We used to do hits as well. You know what I'm saying? So hits can range from anything. Do you know what I'm saying? If you need people hurt or whatever, I'll get the text. We'll get pictures. Not through text, of course. We'll get pictures through the envelopes and stuff like that. Address and the amount of damage inflicted. And because we had a little team, we would pass it around to share. So people would always get first dibs. Yo, I want that. You know what I'm saying? I want that hit. Whatever the next thing that comes in, if I'm happy with it, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's, you know, people getting hurt or drugs or whatever, we're the cleanup crew. So I get a text. I'm chilling in the hood. I get a text. You know, address. So the boy that's with his uncle, he slipped off to the bathroom, sent me a text, right? So when he sent me a text, I was saying, yo, you man, 70K, should we get it? I wasn't too fast because at the time we've been doing licks. We've been doing 100K, 200K, you know what I'm saying, 250, whatever. So we've been taking cash money, we've been taking drugs, right? And we'll exercise.
Am I hearing this correctly? Somebody hit him up and his team to hit a stain on their uncle for 17K? Somebody backdoored their own uncle. But I mean, this is common in the hood though. That's why you can't really flex no bread. Oh, 70K? Or no matter, 70 or 17. That's 70K. Now, listen. I got morals, not the fam like that. I had to think about it for a second, but not the fam. You can get your family knocked off for 70? That means that, but you could never trust this person. If a person backdoor their own family or do something to their family, like, you could never trust them. His word is nothing.
Violence, if needs be, if you do not comply. So reading true in reality, our mindset was, we're not doing anything wrong. We're coming there to confiscate what already belongs to us. What you've got in your house belongs to us. We're not doing anything wrong. Do you understand? And that was the mindset. So reading truly, so we're justifying your wrong. So we get a text. We always had stolen cars that were plated around the area. We had guns, stolen cars plated around the area.
His bro is moving like a pirate. Pirates, the hood One Piece. He out here stealing everybody's gold and everything.
Yeah, life of a robber. So we go to the address. We hit the address at midnight. So when we get there at midnight, we always used to roll in groups of threes. When we get there at midnight, I open it up. The first thing that I do before I sledgehammer the doors, I check the door. Bust the door's open at midnight. I'm thinking, yo, what's going on? Is this a setup? The door's open. It is what it is. We're here now. So we're forced entry into that. We're doing forced entry into the house. I already know where the bedroom is. But the kid and his uncle have left already. And he didn't get a chance to message me. I said, I'm on the mission. Because his uncle said, all of a sudden said to me, oh, bad feeling. Nah, I'm not keeping my money here, right? So he said to him, come with me, I'm taking it away somewhere.
Your uncle had that hood premonition. He felt it in his third eye that he was being set up by his own nephew. Then told his nephew to come with him. Like, he ain't think it was his nephew, though. That's tough.
He didn't want to send a text to me, just in case I end up licking the house and his uncle suspects him. So he just kept quiet, stood beside his uncle. We've come through the house. The uncle's not there. Gone up the stairs. So we forced the entry into his bedroom. But little did we know that the house that he was staying in, he also already had people living in there as well. So he had a yard man, a Jamaican man, where he was seeing an Asian woman at the time. So as we're run raiding, searching the house, flipping everything over, we go straight to the spot where the money's meant to be. It's not there. I said to the boys, yo, we're already here. I used to carry the shotgun. So sometimes I would carry the shotgun and I also do the sledgehammer because I was big. So I'll clear your door with the sledgehammer and I'm also the first one in there with the shotgun, whether it's a pumpy, Sony, whatever. That was my weapon of choice at the time because it's intimidating. As soon as you hear
He's a shotgun specialist. His favorite artist gotta be Digga D. Got to be.
and you look over, you see some man in a trench coat. You know what I'm saying? 6'4", 17 stone. Yeah, you gotta start weighing up, you know, do what I have, I can make. But what this person can take from me, I can't replace, which is your life at the time. And anything's possible in a robbery, right? So we run raid and we're searching the house. We find nothing.
Facts.
So as you'll expand, now that we're here, the law's already broken, we're gonna expand the search. We've gone into the neighboring bedroom. As we're in this bedroom, one of the boys hears someone in the shower. The Jamaican man that was in the shower with his girl at the time, we didn't know that there was another set of people living there, jumps out of the bedroom, the shower window, creeps back into the house, arms himself with a knife, calls the police. He's in the living room. One of the boys says, yo, there's someone in the bathroom. So he left his chick in the bathroom, called the police and armed himself with a knife to defend his house. As far as he's concerned, it's just burglars. So now we're forced entry into the house, into the shower, the shower room where the woman is. She's butt naked, screaming, ah, right? So to be honest with you, we're not here for you. Do you understand? We've come for a purpose. Just shut up, man. Like, just comply. Took into one of the main rooms that was being searched. One of the boys is searching that room. I got another boy that's searching the rest of the rooms. I said to the boy that was searching the first room, make sure she doesn't move, keep your head down. Now the thing is with me, the majority of the works that I used to do, especially if it was like, you know, shooting, you know what I'm saying, if I got to pop someone or, I never used to wear a mask. Reason being, I'm 6'4".
Oh my God. So you out here maskless. I know he about to say I'm 6'4", 17 stone. I'm already, there's not many people of this stature around, so I don't wear a mask. It doesn't matter. All right, man, go ahead. Man.
Right, I got a big puffer coat on. If you see me coming from a mile off, which you are, walking, I prefer to walk up to someone. That's what I used to do. I'll walk up to you and I'll flush you. You know what I'm saying? I'll flush. If you feel like a radiator on you, you're full of heat or whatever, I'll flush your heat. So you know what I'm saying? So I come walking and you see someone with a mask on, you're gonna run. And I can't miss.
I kind of get it from a tactical robbery standpoint, but like, remember YouTube, I do not condone this, but I hear what he's saying, but like, still sound dumb.
Miss the opportunities. So to secure the opportunity, I won't wear a mask. I'll let you see my face, you turn around and say, I don't recognize him. But the fact is, out of everyone that I've flushed, yeah, and no one's able to ID me. No one can identify me. And what I've come out with is, once that gun goes off, it's like they get amnesia. They don't remember what's just happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? So anyway, the woman's in the room. I've told one of the boys, go downstairs. I'm gonna search the living room downstairs. So as he's gone downstairs, forced himself into the living room door, the yard man, at the time, same size as me, height, but he's a bit fatty, right? Had a kitchen knife. He seen one of the burglars trying to force themselves into the room that he was in. He shouted, "Bomba!" Yeah, "Bomba!" Jumped out the room, swung the knife. The boy's shitting himself, right? Running down the corridor, yeah, the hallway, screaming my name. But the thing is, I already had him covered. If we go on the move, we all have roles to play. Yeah, if I've got the gun, I will literally light up the whole party if I have to. Someone feels like they're gonna play hero, because it's my responsibility. Do you understand? If I take on that gun, it's my responsibility, and I gotta be ready to use it. So as the yard man's chasing him through the hallway, I've seen him. He didn't have to shout my name. I've reached over the back.
You going to jail again for bro shouting your name, ain't you? I know you is. He shouted your government or your nickname. Either way.
Knee, with one arm. Obviously, I've fired my gun so many times, it's become like a part of me. Reached over with one arm. I've squeezed the gun. He's going for, thank God, at the time he's going for a shelf. The shelf took some of the warning from the shotgun. Right, the warning's the hard part of the shotgun. So the pellets have pierced through. So the balls have literally burst his neck. Right, so his neck's burst. Like a Coke bottle or a Coke can, when you shake it and you stab it and it fizzes. His neck started fizzing. So he's in his boxes with a knife, neck's fizzing, right? Blood's just pouring, yeah? He shot out the house from the hallway. Instead of running up the stairs towards me, he shot straight out the house. So as he run onto the high road, and the police that he had called to come to the house.
No cap, man. If I take a buckshot to the neck, I'm gone. Ain't no running upstairs. Shorty, you better get out that window like I got up out that window. What you mean? Am I wrong? I just got shot in the neck. Goodbye. See you at the crossroads. What the hell?
I've seen a big black man on a high street with a knife and blood running down his chest. So the adrenaline is pumping. So we've left. Upon the gun being fired, I said, yo, time to leave. We've left. Some of the people, because there was so much blood on the floor and it was a wooden flooring, have slipped up on the blood, right, and was tripped. Got in a car. As I'm in the car, it's like a movie scene. Drove past the police that were heading to us, right, because for them it was just a normal burglary. But little did he know the guys were armed that were in the house. I drove past the police, and I remember seeing them, like trying to calm the guy down. And they played that part back to me in court. Yeah, and that's that in itself. That's the case. That was my case that landed me the 20 years in prison. But the night that I got called, I had set up a move in the area, and the boys that I had took with me ended up licking the wrong door. The night that led to me going to prison, I've picked up a set of boys. We're going to do a robbery in an area. I've had word that there's drugs in a house, and the house has been pointed out to me. So I've gone to pick up some boys from the block. They weren't from my block, though, from another block. What I used to like to do is to rotate people that run through the house, because I never used to like to use the same team. So I've picked up these boys from the block. They were tipsy at the time. And it's my fault, really, because I should have just said, nah, you lot are a bit drunk. But
definitely said no. But greed got into you. You was too ready to hit that lick, that stain. That money was talking. I ain't taking nobody drunk or high with me nowhere. Is what my mind would have said in this situation. You two, remember, I don't condone this.
I was so greedy that I said to them, yo, come, do you know what? I think let's do it. Got them into the car, picked them up in a plated car, took him back to the locality, gave him the gun, drove him to the locality. They've gone to the house. They've sledgehammered the house. 3 boys run up in there, sledgehammered the house. The thing that I liked about the boys, specifically 2 boys, they knew how to use sign language. So they don't talk. You're not gonna hear things like, James, Steve, get the gun. These guys will sign language. You see some SWAT doing that stuff, like police doing that stuff where they do sign language and they clear doors. So they knew how to communicate without speech. So they've cleared out the house, they've run up in the house. 2 red doors that were side by side, they've hit the wrong door. Because I was not far and I was watching, I was almost certain it was the right door, but obviously when the police turned up to the house, because they've come through waving guns, people were pissing themselves. When the police have come, they've been called to the address, the police knocked on the neighboring door and they could smell so much drugs coming from the neighboring house. So they ended up taking that lick as well because they licked the wrong house. So anyway, upon seeing how they've just handled that, I was actually happy with that. I was like, I was amazed. Because this is what I do. Me and my boys, this is what we do. We clear, success rate's high. We clear robberies. It's certain. As soon as you get us on it, and the thing is as well, we'll never rip you off because we see it as it's 50% of what we never had. And to keep you coming,
That's what a lot of people don't understand in the game, man. In the hood, they be like, I be hearing people talk about, oh yeah, rob the plug, rob the plug. The plug got you to where you are. Why would you do that? That's dumb. Now the word is around that you rob plugs. Like, that's stupid. You can never get another, you know what I'm saying? You're out of there. Rob that plug if you want, then go broke again. See if you ever get another plug.
if you've got more friends, we'll treat you right. It's a give and take relationship. So upon that, I already had 180 grand that was needed confiscating from a Vietnamese loan shark. It was a woman that had 3 sons in a house in South London. And I had a text at the time from one of my Vietnamese people. He just dropped off 30 grand. And obviously they use cash machines to count stuff. And he said to me, yo, I'm at the house now. I've dropped off 30 grand. They've got 150 grand plus the 30 grand I've just dropped off. The bosses live in Vietnam. They send the workers, the capos, to come here who manage the workers who live in these factories. So I had a capo who just dropped off 30 racks and he's gave me the address. It says, fly through now, I'm in here now. Straight after we just done that robbery. Well, obviously it wasn't successful. So I said to them, yo, don't worry about that. We're going to another thing in South. As we're driving towards South, right, really and truly I had a safety car that I should have been in, but I just wanted to make sure these boys get there because I'm aware that...
Bro had an intricate little setup going here. He's talking about a safety car. He had a busy schedule too. Hit after hit.
It's tipsy. I said, I'm going to drive you there. As I'm driving him there, I've done a dodgy U-turn. Armed police, these are called city police. City police, they police an area.
Oh my God. This is my whole thing, man. If you out and you know you doing something you're not supposed to be doing, check if all your lights work. Check if your brake lights work. Check if your turn signals work. Check if your tags is expired. Check. You gotta check everything. And to hit a U-turn while you just did that, you was moving way, and it wasn't even you're an idiot. It was moving like you were just thirsty, over thirsty to compensate for what you just jagged, like what you just messed up. So you going to the next spot. So man, I gotta hurry up. Let me hurry up. When you rush, you make mistakes in anything in life. Period. So
radius of 2 miles. So that's their little, and they always have guns in them because it's the city of London. We're all cutting through the city of London rather than going the long way around. Done a dodgy U-turn, they weren't doing nothing. They said, yeah, them. So they're following the car. My car's plated. Would always go on car sales websites when we've got stolen cars, get a matching plate, written down, add to the place, get it manufactured and stick it on. So it's a copy of another car that's insured. But this time I hadn't checked to see the owner. The car was insured, but the car was still stuck in the showroom. So the place that I'd copied of the car, even though it was insured, it wasn't registered to anyone. So the armed police wanted to take interest to find out who's driving this car because it's not registered to anyone. So when they've come on to me, I've took chase, and this is like South.
All these little mistakes. He cloned some plates with insurance, but it wasn't registered to nobody.
London, central South London-ish. You know, like when you cut through central London and you're heading towards South, there's like posh areas. I don't know where I'm going. I'm taking chase. I get out, I crash the car, right? And like I've said to you, we all had roles to play. One of the boys that was carrying the gun at the time, because I was driving, we had agreed, if I crash the car, you gotta get out and wing with the gun. Even if he wasn't gonna do that, he should have said that to me and told me, yo, I'm not gonna take the gun. I would have found someone else to play the role, right? I crashed the car, we've got out, run. I don't know where I'm running. But this time, instead of splitting up, the boys decided to follow. Two of the boys that I'd picked up decided to follow me. We've run towards the pier. So when we've run towards the pier, we ended up at the Thames.
The River
And
Thames?
at the Thames, I was trying to persuade my co-defenders to jump into the Thames. I couldn't swim. I can bro slime, but just trying to persuade them to jump in. Had they, if any of them floated, I would have took the risk. And you understand what I'm saying? This is bad shit, but desperate times calls for...
Bro, you was... First of all, you're 6'4", 17 stone, and don't know how to swim. If they float, that doesn't mean it's going to happen to you because you don't know how to float. Floating is not something you could just do. You got to know what you're doing. Like, if you float and you out of breath, if you jump in and can't swim and you out of breath, you're not going to float. You're going to sink. You got to get air in your stomach to be able to float. Like, I know that because I be watching TV. That don't mean I can swim, and that don't mean I'm going to ever try it. You will never catch me in any deep body of water attempting to swim. It's not ever happening. I don't even want to go snorkeling. I don't want to go jet skiing. I don't care if I got a life vest on. I'm black, and I'm not doing it. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. I'm gonna go ahead and ride out with that stereotype. You get me?
Desperate measures. We're stuck at the pier for 5 minutes. We can hear the police running. Boots, running towards you. Hey, stay where you are. I'm like, oh gosh, I've got a gun charge. This is, you know what I'm saying? I don't license. I'm not sure if the guys took the gun because he didn't run with us. I'm saying to them, yo, who's gonna jump? I can't swim. I could see the water's dirty, it's mucky, it's brown. I could see the other side of the Thames, but I'm desperate to get away. If any of them jump in there and they float, I'm gonna jump in. If any of them jump in and don't float, I always see, I'm not jumping, do you understand? No one took the plunge. There was one guy that was very close to jumping in. He didn't take the plunge. We all got caught on the pier, nicked, police station. I ended up going to Belmarsh. And when I was in Belmarsh, it's a high security prison. Police came to see me at Belmarsh. They said, yeah, we've got someone that fits your pattern. Someone's been shot in the house, right? In their house, in the neck with a shotgun. At the time, I'm just in for a simple gun position. They took me up Plumstead Police Station, which is in South. So I just wanted...
Hold on. Is it me or is dude wake up, go to sleep, and in between those two things, he bench press all day. Look how big this dude is. He's swollen. Pause, first and foremost. But,
to go along because I want to know what they've got. I'm not going to be sitting there in my cell like, the police are here to see me. No, I'm not going. And then I'm sat in my cell like, oh shit, what do they have? I'm the type of guy, I'll come along and then, yeah, man, just sit there like, yeah, what's going on? At the end of the day, what they have helps me come up with a defense. It gives me something. Plus, I'm not going anywhere. I'm on my second gun charge at the time. So I've gone along. They're inquiring on a guy that supposedly, at the time, had been shot in the house. I'm in the cell. I ended up moving from Brixton. So from Belmarsh, I ended up going to Brixton, months down the line, because nothing came of it. They were just inquiring. I ended up bumping into my friend. Remember I told you about me and my friend used to lock heads and we used to exchange information on who needed to get, what services were needed, who needs to get robbed, the hit needs to get done, all of that. He's come.
Hey, we used to lock heads and discuss who needs to get robbed. What's like that? That sentence is crazy. I got some friends that used to be into what he do, but like, I ain't never had no discussions with them. But like, that's wild. That's really yeah. We just brainstorming on who to rob, what time. Like, that don't sound wild to y'all? Like, when you wake up in the morning, right? You be like, dang, Let me sit here and plan my little day out. Boom, boom, boom. He wake up, eat a bowl of weights, and then think who he gonna rob. That's tough. YouTube, I don't condone any type of violence. I'm a civilian nowadays. You feel me?
I'm into jail. I'm like, yo, what you doing there? He's in there for free possession of free firearms. We're talking big guns. You're right. So we're in the cell chilling, right? Because we ended up banging out together. We're in the cell chilling. I've had a knock on the door. You know, I've got called into court. At the time, I had 30 court appearances in 2 years. When I got nicked, I got nicked as a totality of 24 charges, all gun-related charges, right? Because it all just...
Funny that he says that in 2 years he got 30 charges and 30 court appearances. The reason why I stopped getting in trouble is because in 1 year I had like 15 court appearances. I was like, nah, man, and I can't, like, at some point you got to think in your head like, yo, I'm not gonna continue to get lucky in these court. But luckily, I paid for a lawyer. Never get no court-appointed lawyer because they just want to. They all friends. They be kicking it together. If y'all ever noticed that, all them lawyers in there, the judge, the bailiff, they all be kicking it with each other. So they just gonna figure out like how can this all benefit us as one. Like, no, sir, I'm bringing in somebody private that don't give a F-U-C-K about nothing y'all got going on. You feel me? So luckily I had one of them and he wasn't going for none of that. He got like 97% of my stuff thrown out. But nevertheless, after that I was like, I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead, hang up my little, you know what I'm saying? Hang up my shiesty. And I'm gonna go ahead, you know, be as normal as possible. Which in Chicago, that's still really tough.
And building up. 24 charges at the time. 24 gun possession charges and firing guns or whatever. Right. So I ended up getting a call. They gave me bail because I was ready to start trial and the prosecution weren't ready to start trial. So it's called custody time limit. Right. So this is to prevent the prosecution from dragging their heels and keeping someone innocent in prison. So custody time limit is 6 months. It run out. So they let me go.
I don't believe that they have that in America, or at least in Chicago. That sounds like something that needs to be implemented. I ain't never heard of custody time limit. What do we? Hey Siri. Does Chicago have a custody time limit?
Okay, I found this on the web for does Chicago have a custody time limit? Check it out.
Within 18 months. 2 years. Let's just say 2 years. You got 2 years before you have to finish building or doing whatever. That's why I ain't never heard of it. Ain't nobody ever reached before that they'll hold you in there for 15 months, then start your case on that 16th month. 17 months, then start your case on that 18th month, I mean.
Right, they've given me bail. I'm out for 2 weeks. That's racking their heads, shaking their heads like, yo, this guy's out. How is this guy out? Anyways, as I'm out, I have to sign on. I have to go to a police station. One day, go and sign on to the police station.
You got to sign into your PSN account? Did he just say PlayStation?
One day, go and sign into the police station.
Oh, police.
I turn up to the police station. Police station's locked down. Nobody's reporting any crimes, nothing. I think to myself like, yo, where's everyone? I'm sure there's crimes happening in the area. Like, even, because you have the part where you sign in at the police station and you have another side where people report crimes. But the whole police station is shut down. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Someone pops up from underneath the desk, says, hello, Mr. Magazi. Well, colleague of mine wants to have a word with you. What? Okay, right. I'm thinking I ain't breached no bail conditions. They said, right, can you step over to the other side of the room? So I step inside the police station. As I'm sat there, a new woman comes in, right? This woman's investigating a case where someone got shot out of a bedroom window, right? with a shotgun. So this case, someone got shot out of the bedroom window with a shotgun, and their body's outlined. They found like a hole in the chest, blood coming out of his ears and his mouth, bubbles or whatever. And she's also investigating a case where someone got shot in the back, right? I've never seen it before. So she's like, before I go into any further information of why I'm here, I've got a colleague of mine that wants to ask you one or two things. We're just going to wait for him to come in. So I'm sat in the police station. About officer walks in, but this one I recognize because he's the one that came to see me while I was in Belmarsh. He's come to see me about the guy that got shot in the throat. So now I'm thinking, oh, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? They've said, we don't have the facilities to interview you here, past the police station. We're going to take you to another station that has the facilities. I said, oh, okay, right. In my heart, I kind of knew that these are just, the heart was burning. They couldn't have me out. Gone to the police station, which was a Trident station. Trident, they specialize in gun crime. As soon as I got in there, they swabbed me for gunpowder, right? They trapped me in the cell. And 20 years was passed on to me. I went to court. I beat two of the cases, which was the guy that got shot in the chest and the guy that got shot in the back. This particular case here, the guy getting shot in the throat, that one, they couldn't afford to let that slip. So, yeah, I ended up getting 12 years, for the initial run-up, where the boys run up in the house. They got 8. I got 12 years, even though the tallest person was 5'6". I'm 6'4". You can't mistake me for anyone. I wasn't in the house. Simply, I wasn't in the house. Had I been in the house, I would have said, yeah, I was in the house.
Yeah. Let it be known, the facts that are presented to the court says the tallest person is 5'7". He is 6'4". By all of our standards, he wasn't in that house then. If that's what it is.
I didn't even see what the victims look like. They gave me 12 years for that. Because the judge was sure that I was the person that set up the robbery. Now, this other case, 2 years into the 12 years and I was screwing. I was pissed about the 12-year sentence because I managed to get bail. We were trying to go for a dismissal because the evidence that they had didn't match up with man. I got 12 years for that. So now I'm in there, 2 years into doing the 12 years, they'll come back and say, yeah, got a case on you now, right? Said 16 years on top of the 12 years. Overall, the totality of years that they gave me racked up to like 59 years. The totality, they were just chucking numbers out. 3, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, all at different times. In 2 years, I think I had about 30 court appearances. I had about 2 court appearances each month throughout the whole 2 years.
Bro had absolutely no peace in there. Bro was in there getting, as soon as he go to sleep, he got to wake up. That's uncomfortable. Like, I know you in jail is uncomfortable, but like having a court appearance every day to see if you're going to get more time added on is tough.
I got this other bigger sentence, and 20 years, I done 10 years out of that. And I just got out during COVID lockdown.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards.
You got released during COVID. You jumped right into a pandemic.
Would you consider yourself a good human in those years?
No. Listen, as soon as I'd wake up, I'm not going to lie to you, as soon as I wake up, at that time,
I told you, as soon as he wake up, he ate a bowl of weights and thought of robbing. Watch, that's what he about to say.
Someone's day's ruined. As soon as my eyes are open, we got a list of addresses, yeah? Whoever's getting done, we're coming through. We're coming to your house. It's payday, man. At that time, you know what I'm saying, money had the say. And to be honest with you, I never really had any emotions towards any of the people that I was coming through to fix up or to rob or to shoot or whatever the situation was. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You took all emotion out of it.
As fucked up as that is, man or woman, your wife, you know, probably wouldn't do your kid, you know, but, you know, women were really considered, that even women, like, we had a level of violence that we'll be looking to do, like, because no one wants to be doing no sentence for a woman, like, you know what I'm saying? So there'll be a level of violence that will be, you know, demonstrated or given to her. But a man will pack you and send you to hell. Do you know what I'm saying? We will send you to hell at the time. Do you know? So pay.
What if that man was a churchgoer or prayed in the mosque however many times a day he needed to do? How you know he was going to hell?
The right pay, you know, I wasn't a good human being at the time, you know, and it's just my encounters in prison with other people, it's what's made me mature up somewhat, you know. The thing is with today's society, the kids.
No, that's crazy. Prison made him a diabolical demon, and it also made him finally come to terms and be mature. But all in all, it was a choice by you. Because even if the first time you went to prison and turned into even worse, it's because you wasn't ready. You wasn't ready to step out of there yet. You wasn't ready to be out of the streets. That last time, that 18, when they threw 59 years at you, you was, yeah, I'm done. It's time to hang up my jersey. You was out there like Michael Jordan, though. You the GOAT. I ain't gonna lie, he was goating. GOAT robber. That's tough.
Of today, you know, to carry the Rambos and stuff like that. You know, people say to me, oh, like, you know, like during like your time and that, do you reckon you would have been able to match up with the kids of today? You've put us into any era. Do you understand? Because now kids carry ZKs. There would have been no match. But the bottom line is, life in prison, right? This whole life is a trap. Like, in a sense that, you know, once the government get a hold of you and they put 30 on you, 30 years in prison, you're going to be living a nightmare, bro. A nightmare. You know, like every day you wake up, it's a nightmare. If it's not your baby mom's going off with someone else, she's cheating on you, she's sleeping with another man or some next man raising your kids, your mom's passed away while you're in prison.
I made the mistake of saying me and him are the same age. We are not. He is clearly older than me. But, you know, he's in shape and, you know, black don't crack. The body will take care of you as long as you take care of it. Simple.
You know, if your mom passed away, someone's broke into your house. If it's not that you're getting stabbed in prison, not just that your friends have moved on with their lives, you know, you've been the example. You have been the reason why they've changed their lives around. Now they've got jobs and they've got families, courtesy of you. And now you're sat in that cell where they come through at night. You know when they come through at night and they open the flap and they shine the torch at you like you're an animal. You know, it's on midnight, just to make sure you're still in the cell. You know, this type of living, it does something to the human mind. You know, being in a cell for 10 straight years. Obviously, there's people that...
Facts. You institutionalized PTSD, all that.
Done longer than me. But not just that, what you're with other... And not just that as well. When I went in there, I had to humble myself because as big as I was and as physical as I was or whatever, I've met people that are badder than me. And how they carry themselves, it's...
Stood, glued, Josh. Pause.
It makes me feel embarrassed about how I behave because these men are in for 4 murders, 5 murders. You know what I'm saying? And they carry themselves a certain way, so you get to learn how a man should carry himself, you know? Learn from your mistakes and try and better yourself.
And before we finish as well, Ghost, is there anything you want to say and conclude on?
Yeah, what I was going to say. Yeah, listen, before, you know, I'm not here to preach, but before you react, before you do anything, you just got to weigh up your odds, you know, and remember that the feds are playing for keeps, you know. You're getting kept there. Once you get that 30-year sentence, You're gonna wish you was dead.
You know, it's crazy, man. 5 seconds of your life. 5 seconds of your life. A 5-second decision can take away 15 years of your life. You gotta think before you act nowadays. Man, I know that's hard. But take yourself, step back for like 3 seconds when something happened. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then execute, do what you gotta do. But normally that 3 seconds will stop you from making a mistake that'll cost you your life. TLO, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post, and go.